everyone. Let us continue with the quick review of what we have seen into the last class. In the last class, we have first observed with the concept of two-dimensional array, where I have mentioned a 2D array is nothing but a 1D array of arrays. Then we have tried to accept the data, we have tried to display the data, we have tried to apply some advanced for loop in case of 2D array. We have seen in case of 2D array, we have to go for two for loops. The outer loop will point to this complete array and the inner loop will try to traverse within those elements. And that's called as a two-dimensional array. We have also talked about something called as ragged array, where the number of rows are fixed, but in each row there are variable number of columns, and that's called as ragged array. Then we have started with the concept of enum. And when you say enum, it is enumeration. But we have seen the important concept, which is called as the need of sole constructor. When you say what's the need of sole constructor, it means the code gets emitted on its own whenever you're creating an enum. Enum always having some positional arguments, and that is nothing but called as ordinal value. If you want to fetch the name of an enum constant, you use a name method. If you want to fetch a positional value, then you use ordinal. Apart from that, all the constants that you declare within the enum will get public static final field. Then we have seen how to create a user-defined enum. What do you mean by predefined enums? Later on, we have also talked about the concept called as string. So yesterday I have talked two major concepts. One is called as string literal and a non-literal. So we have seen whenever you're creating any string with equal to sign, it's a literal. When you say new, it's a non-literal. Why it is called as a literal? Because it receives the space in the literal pool, or we can say string pool. And when you say non-literal, it means it will get the space into the heap area, but not within the literal pool. We have seen few examples when we have talked about comparison with equal and equals to method. So this was done into the last class. Apart from that, I have given you few practice questions. So these are 3 questions that I have given you. The example which I have given you as a practice on the similar lines in case of enum, I have given you the solution on the last slide. Please refer this code. Can you see here, Subhanshu and others, those who were asking, can you see color dot green? Whatever value it has applied, I am trying to apply in color X. Why I'm applying in color X? It is because I have to match this with the enum constant. And can you see, if I just write case red, if I declare the enum color outside the program, तो मुझे लिखना पड़ता था case color dot red. I wanted to avoid it. That's the reason I have used this red. So first of all, whenever you are taking the choice from the user, put that inside the type of color. The reason is enum is basically having a mapping with this, and then only your code will work fine. That is what is basically you can go for enum declaration. That was the third question. Right? So what is, I request, if you are still facing the problem, you can ask again in the lab sessions, or you can ask me again in tomorrow's class. The day before yesterday, I have given 2 to 3 questions for the practice. Today, I have also yesterday, I have given 3 questions. So how many of you have completed all the 3 questions? Or just post the count. You can use color X is equal to SC dot next line. But when you say next line, Rutuja, that accepts the string. So string and your color dot X will not map. Again, you need to convert it to maybe using parsing and so on. All 3, very good. Good. Third, you can try. Okay, good. So the students, those who have done at least 2 to 3 programs, it means you are on the correct pace. Please make sure you maintain this and try practicing all the codes. Otherwise, you will not get confidence, right? Before proceeding ahead, anyone who have missed first 5 lectures and maybe because there was an issue at the server end, do you want me to upload day 1 to day 5 lectures once again? Maybe I can do that, but is it necessary or is it required? Because one or day 2, there was a problem in video recordings, right? And it was not the problem from our side, it was at the server end. So shall I upload day 1 to day 5 or first 3 days videos again? All right. It will take little time. Maybe at the end, I will try to upload it. So I'll keep it as updated one. Is it okay? first 3 days videos, I will upload it again, so that if someone have missed something, then they can just quickly do a quick revision. All right, so maybe helpful for others. So it will be available for 7 days. I'll try to upload by tonight or max by tomorrow. All right, ठीक. So someone have raised the hand. All right, ठीक. So let us talk about today's agenda, as it's day 7, and let us talk about today's agenda. I will try to finish, your last date is on 10th March. I will try to finish till 9th March. The reason is main course is going to start from 15th. So few students have called me and requested me try to finish at least 1 or 2 days early. So let us see if I can take some 1 day extra or half an hour extra, and I can finish off at least 1 day prior. So will it be okay? Will it be okay? All right. So we can go ahead with at least every day 15 minutes or half an hour extra, and then we can cover it up. All right. So let us talk about today's agenda. We will again see example of string. We will see string functions. Right. We will talk about string buffer class. Before that, I will also talk about equal and equals. And after that, we will talk about string tokenizer. And we will start with inheritance today. So this is what is today's agenda. I'll just save it at the correct location. Perfect. Now, whenever we are talking about the string, in the last class, we have seen the need of string, the string literal and non-literal. We have seen what is string pool, and I've given some examples along with this, correct? So let us take one more example on the strings, right? So I'll go to STS, correct? Let us say I'm creating one string S1 is equal to new string, and bracket me, I'm passing Sunbeam. Now, quickly tell me, when I say what is S1, is it a literal or a non-literal? It is non-literal. When I say again new string and Sunbeam, S2 is again a non-literal. Let us say I'll go for S1 equal to S2. When you try to execute this application, it is going to give me answer as false. The reason over here is S1 is one string allocated with a new object. In this case, this is one literal and this is another literal, correct? And that's the reason S1 equal to S2 is doing a reference equality, and that's why it is going to give me the false result, right? So yesterday also I have showed you how this S1 and S2 takes place, because they are two different objects. So two different objects always receives the memory in different memory area. And that's why when you check the reference equality, it is going to give me the answer as false, right? Now, but if I'm saying I'm writing S1 dot equals S2, I'll talk about hash code. Hold on. So when you say S1 dot equals hash S2, let me just try to copy this. S1 dot equals S2. In this case, let us execute. It is going to give me true. Now, when I say it is going to return me true, it is because what is S1? It is the string. What is S2? It is the string, correct? So I am giving a call to the equals method from which class? From the string class, right? Now, it is basically checking contents. Why it is checking the contents? It is because in your java.lang package, you have a class which is called as the string class. Inside the string class, you have method which is called as equals method. So I'll go to E. Please check equals method is present in string class. It returns me Boolean result. And what does it returns? Please check. It is mentioned that the object that represents same sequence of character as the object. That means equals method returns true if they have equivalent set of characters, equal number of characters, and that too same, correct? Now, in this scenario, let us assume Now, what actually happens is, in your, again, I'm going into the object class, right? Inside your object class, you have methods, right? Can you remember any one single method from the object class? Can you remember one single method from the object class? ToString. Perfect. तो अगर मेरे क्लास में ToString मेथड है, सॉरी, अगर मेरे खुद के यूजर डिफाइंड क्लास में ToString मेथड नहीं है, तो कौन से क्लास का ToString मेथड कॉल होता है? If I do not have a ToString in my own user defined class, then the ToString method gets called from which class? From the object class. Perfect. Next, please observe, I have the object class. Object class is also having which method? Equals method. I have the object class which is having the method which is called as hashcode method. Now let us understand. In the object class, I have again equals method. Now let's try to understand. I'm saying I have the string class. String class is having its ToString method. Do you all agree? Yes or no? Right. Next, who is the superclass of string? It's object. Object is also having its ToString. Right? Next point. If I'm saying s1 dot, or maybe I'm not talking about ToString. Actually, I shall take example of equals because we are in equals now. I'm sorry. So object class is also having equals. String class is also having equals. But when I say s1 dot equals s2, s1 and s2 are strings. Can you please tell me this equals will be called from which class? From the string class. Perfect. तो string class का equal method क्या करता है? It just generally try to check the content within the class, within the string object. Perfect. One more time, let us observe the string class methods. I'm talking about something called as hash code, right? Now, if you observe, in this case, here also there's a hash code method. It returns an integer, returns a hash code for the string. Now, hash code for the string object is computed with some formula. Now, the hash value of the empty string is 0. So, when I'm saying I'm trying to calculate the hash code value, so मेरे string class में भी hash code method है और मेरे object class में भी hash code method है, right? Now, let us try to understand what is this hash code. Normally, what happens is in your heap area, let us assume objects ko, we know there is a heap area. In your heap area, whenever the data is entered, behind the scene, your OS maintains one data structure, जिसे आप hash table बोलते हो. So let us assume I have got one object. So I'm saying this is one object, this is second object, this is third object. So this table is maintained. Correct? Now, when I'm saying I have the Sunbeam as the first object contents, I have second object contents again as Sunbeam. But since they are two different objects, S1 and S2, at that moment, they both will get a different index number. So what is hash table? Hash table maintains the record of all the objects that you have created. Behind the scene, वो यहाँ पे एक hash value देता है. I'm writing hash value 1, maybe hash value 2 and hash value 3 like a indexing. तो ये जो डेटा आपको मिलता है, ये जो इंडेक्स मेंटेन होता है, इसे ही हम बोलते हैं हैश कोड. Did you all understood how your data gets stored into the heap area? In the background, it uses hashing technique. Behind the scene, it uses a hash table. Correct? Now, let us go ahead. So in this scenario, please understand, when you are saying, I'm going to string class hash code, तो जब भी आप कोई string class के hash code value में जाते हो, तो hash code object is computed like this with some specific mathematical calculation, right? So now let us try to print system.out.println s1.hashcode, right? S1 का hash code, and let us try to print S2 का hash code. Let's execute. Can you see it is giving me some same value for S1 and S2? The reason is S1 का hash code is basically trying to calculate one integer value. And it is using some standard formula, s of 0 multiplied by this, s of 1 multiplied by this, s of 2 multiplied by this, and so on. तो can I say S1 and S2 के सारे कंटेंट सेम है, तो इनकी जो हैश वैल्यू है वो सेम आएगी. Are you okay? Have you understood why your S1.hash code and S2.hash code have given me the same answer? Because it is working on the content value. Okay? All right. Perfect. Now, let us observe. Let us observe. Over here, I'm going into object class hash code. It returns the hash code value for the object. The method is supported in the benefit of hash table. Maybe they use the hash map in the background. We will see hash map later on. Check this out. The general contract for hash code is, whenever it is invoked on the same object, the Java application will try to assign same, you can say, address. Please check. The hash code normally works with the equals method. If two objects are equal, according to the equals method, calling the hash code method onto object must produce the same integer result. So, can you understand point number 2? I have given a call s1 dot equals s2. s1 dot equals s2 have returned me true. That means s1 का hash code and s2 का hash code integer में equal रहेगा. Have you now understood? Equals and the hash code, they both work hand in hand. They cannot work alone. Right? Next, listen carefully. In your string class, we are having equals method. String class का equals method क्या check करता है? Same sequence of characters. Now let us work with object. Object class का equals method. I've gone to object class and the equals method. Indicates whether some other object is equal to 1. That means object comparison. Now listen carefully. Here, the most important statement, read this. The equals method for the class object implements most discriminating possible equivalence relation on objects. That means, just read it, I'll explain. For any non-null reference, मेरा S1 and S2 दोनों non-null references थे. This method returns true if and only if x and y refer to the same object. अगर x equal to y, अगर ये दोनों सेम है, तो ही मेरा equals method true return करता है. Right? Now listen. I'll come back to this slide. अगर string class का equals method है, what does it check? It checks the contents. Correct? Next, अगर object class का equals है, what does it do? It checks the reference equality. It checks for double equal to. It means. कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone, toString अगर object class का था, तो वो hash code display करता था. toString मेरे user defined में है, तो मैं उसका partial information display करती थी. Same is happening over here. अगर आपका equals method object class से कॉल होता है, तो वो double equal to वाला reference equality करता है. अगर आपका equals method string class से कॉल होता है, तो आपके content को check करता है. Are we okay now? Have you understood up to this point? Means if the equals method is called from the object class, always it is going to do a reference equality. But if I have my own equals method, then obviously that will be implemented. Right? I'll prove these points, don't worry. Now, I'll take one example of employee class and I'll prove these points. Here, there's one more important statement which is written. A note is written. It is generally necessary to override hash code method whenever this method is overridden. It means अगर आपने equals method को खुद की क्लास में implement किया, तो आपको hash code को भी implement करना पड़ेगा. Have you observed in the string class equals method है, तो hash code method भी 100% रहेगा. Because it is mentioned clearly, you should override hash code method if you are overriding this equals method. Are we okay? Have you understood? Yes or no? Perfect. Right. So S1 dot hash code, S2 dot hash code. That is going to give me this same result. Correct? Now, let us assume I'm writing string S3 is equal to S1. Next, let us try to print. I'll just print S1 equal to S3. Can you please tell me what will be the output for line number 13? It is going to be true. ऐसा क्यों? क्योंकि इन दोनों भी का रेफरेंस सेम है और दोनों के कंटेंट भी सेम है. कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone? Perfect. Good. Good. Right. Content same नहीं है तो I'll take that example also. I'll say string S4 is equal to new string. I'm just saying Akshita. Ab, when I say system.out.println, let's try S2 equal to S4. S2 equal to S4. Let us try S2 dot equals S4. Let us try and let me put here S2 dot equals S4. Correct? Next, once again, I'll use S2 hash code so that you will understand S2 dot hash code. And let us try to print S4 hash code. Right? Let's try to execute. Can you see? S2 and S4 both are false when I'm using equal to sign. Next I'm using equals. Contents are also different. Then also it's giving false. S2 is having the data as Sunbeam, so uska hash value is different. And S4 is having the data as Akshita, its hash code is different. कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone? Yes or no? Is it okay? Is it fine? Perfect. Now, let me take another example because we are into equal and equals. So I'll take one more example. तो आपको easily difference समझ में आएगा. Day 7 underscore 2. I'll just save finish. I'll create one class and I'll go for class employee where I'm just saying integer emp id and I'm just trying to have string name. Correct? Let's say I have one parameterless constructor. Let's say I have one parameterized constructor. This dot emp id is equal to emp id. This dot name is equal to name, right? And let us have a toString method. So I'm just writing right click and source generate toString. I want to display both emp id and name. Is the class description is understood by everyone? Perfect. Now I'm trying to create employee E1 is equal to new employee. And I'm passing first emp id as 1, 2, 3 and I'm passing P1 or maybe person 1. Again, I'm saying I'm creating one more employee object E2 and I'm trying to have the same data within this E2. Now, if I'm saying system.out.println, I want to print E1 object. Next, I'll try to calculate or I will try to print one more time E2 object. Can you please tell me when you try to print E1 and E2 at this moment, what it will give me? Will it give me which function will be called? First question. A toString function will be called. Perfect. Now the point over here is toString will be called from which area? Will it be called from the employee class or will it be called from the, you can say the class, which is object class? It will be called from your own class, that is your employee. Are you able to see both the output? It is displaying the content. यहाँ तक समझ में आया? Yes or no? Perfect. Now, next point. I'm saying I want to compare E1 equal, or let us just try to print E1 dot hash code. And let us try to print E2 equal to E2 dot hash code. Now, quickly tell me, at this moment, hash code method will be called from which object, which class, object class or the employee class? It will be called from the employee class. Perfect. Let us say on line number 21, I am trying to use E1 is equal to E2. I'm just trying to compare E1 and E2 with equal to sign. Correct? Next. Here, I'm trying to use E1 dot equals E2 result. So I'll just write E1 dot equals E2. Everyone, at this moment, let us first observe the output line by line. Next, first of all, E1 is equal to E2. Quickly tell me, will it give me the result as true or false? Guys, जब आप डबल इक्वल टू यूज करते हो तो रेफरेंस इक्वालिटी रहती है E1 एंड E2 दोनों भी डिफरेंट ऑब्जेक्ट्स है तो उसका आंसर फॉल्स आएगा ना. आर यू ओके? परफेक्ट. गुड. Good. Next. Shall I go ahead to the next point? Perfect. Now tell me, equals method. Is it returning me false? Is it returning me false on line number 29? Right? Why it is returning me false? It is because, please tell me, equals method will be called from which class? From object class. Perfect. तो object class का equals method क्या check करता है? Can you see this? It returns true if and only if x and y both refers to the same object. कुछ condition समझ में आया? क्योंकि मेरे एम्प्लॉय क्लास के अंदर मेरे पास इक्वल्स मेथड नहीं है तो इक्वल्स मेथड विल बी कॉल्ड फ्रॉम विच क्लास? फ्रॉम द ऑब्जेक्ट क्लास. एंड बाय रूल द फर्स्ट कंडीशन द ऑब्जेक्ट क्लास का इक्वल्स मेथड चेक्स दैट if both the references are different, it never goes into the content. Have you understood up to this point, everyone? अभी कुछ समझ में आया? स्ट्रिंग क्लास के इक्वल्स ने हमें क्यों ट्रू दिया? क्योंकि स्ट्रिंग क्लास के अंदर ओवरराइड किया हुआ था इक्वल्स मेथड. कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone, right? Now, can you see E1 dot hash code and E2 dot hash code? Right. Hash code method is getting called from which class? Object class. Perfect. When I say it is given a call from the object class, then once again, tell me, let's observe. Object class का hash code value. This method is for the benefit of a hash table provided by hash map. Whenever it is invoked on the same object, am I giving call on the same object? No. If two objects are equal according to the equals method, then only hash code of the object will produce the same integer result. अभी कुछ समझ में आया? Why I have said equals and hash code hand in hand चलते हैं? Everyone, yes or no? Guys, एम्प्लॉय क्लास में हमने इक्वल्स मेथड लिखा है क्या? नहीं लिखा है. तो वो कौन से क्लास के इक्वल्स को कॉल करेगा? ऑब्जेक्ट क्लास के. ऑब्जेक्ट क्लास का इक्वल्स मेथड क्या चेक करता है? पहले डबल इक्वल टू चेक करता है. अगर डबल इक्वल टू फॉल्स है तो वो कंटेंट में जाएगा ही नहीं. और सेम हैश कोड मेथड क्या कर रहा है? हैश कोड मेथड चेक कर रहा है कि इफ माय इक्वल्स मेथड इज रिटर्निंग मी ट्रू तो ही मैं उन दोनों ऑब्जेक्ट्स को हैश कोड सेम देने वाला हूं, नहीं तो मैं दोनों को हैश कोड डिफरेंट देने वाला हूं. एंड दैट्स व्हाट माय आउटपुट इज गिविंग मी, डिफरेंट हैश कोड इवन दो द कंटेंट्स आर सेम. अभी कुछ समझ में आया कि फंक्शन को ओवरराइड करने की जरूरत क्यों होती है? सो दैट आई कैन राइट माई ओन फंक्शनैलिटी एंड आई कैन परफॉर्म द सेम जॉब. So what will happen? Someone will say E1 and E2. Actually, the contents are same. It should give me the answer as true. Yes, it should give us the answer as true. But have I done any comparison study? No. तो कौन सा equals कॉल हो रहा है? Object class का equals कॉल हो रहा है. Are we okay? Yes or no? ठीक है. I'll draw a diagram. You will understand in a better way. ठीक है. I'll make the changes here only. ठीक है. There are few things. Let us first write with the object class. Object classes having equals method. Object classes having hash code method. Do you all agree? Everyone. Right. Object class का equals method by default क्या check करता है? It checks for reference equality. That means double equal to. Do you agree? Do you agree? Correct. Next, hash code method क्या करता है? Calculates hash value and hash code is given. तो जो hash value is the same for the objects whose equal to is a true and hash value is a different for the objects whose equal to is false. Do you all agree? यही हमने पॉइंट देखा अभी. Yes or no? ये कैलकुलेट तो हैश वैल्यू करता है बट हैश वैल्यू ट्रू कब देता है? जब दोनों ऑब्जेक्ट्स का इक्वल टू इज इट ट्रू. एंड ये फॉल्स कब रिटर्न डिफरेंट वैल्यू कब देता है? जब दोनों ऑब्जेक्ट्स के इक्वल टू इज फॉल्स. यहां तक समझ में आया? एवरीवन, डिड यू ऑल गेट अप टू दिस पॉइंट? Yes or no? Everyone. Right. Perfect. Now, let me complete. Let's go ahead step by step. Have you at least understood up to this point? Yes. ठीक है. Means can I say ये जो दो methods है, one is your equals and another is a hash code. ये दोनों एक दूसरे के साथ चलते हैं hand in hand. अगर मुझे hash code चाहिए तो पहले मुझे equals लगेगा. Equals नहीं रहेगा तो hash code काम नहीं कर सकेगा. That means I need to have both if I'm overriding it. Do you agree? Correct. Now, let's come back to the next point. अब आपने पहले थोड़ी देर पहले ये देखा, I'm having a string class. Can you tell me string is predefined or the user defined class? It is predefined class. Is my string class is having equals method and the hash code method? Correct. अब आप बताइए string class का equals method क्या चेक करता है? It checks the contents within the string. Do you all agree? Yes or no? थोड़ी देर पहले ही हमने ये देखा. Perfect. Next, string class का hash code क्या करता है? It calculates hash value based on contents of the string. Do you agree, everyone? Right. So can I say if two strings are same, they will get same hash value, else different values. यहां तक समझ में आया? Everyone? Did you all get up to this point? Perfect. Good. Next point. Guys, please tell me, in this scenario, अगर मैंने दो non-literals बनाए हैं, there is one more scenario यहाँ पे that we have seen, double equal to. Correct? If in this scenario, double equal to was returning me true, when it was returning me true, if both strings are having same reference, literal pool example. Do you agree? And ये false कब दे रहा था? Maybe for example, two different non-literals. याद है कुछ? And यहाँ पे for example, two literals. Do you all remember this point? Everyone. Yes or no? Right. Now, if I'm saying I'm creating string S1 is equal to new string, and I'm saying Akshita. And on the similar lines, I'm putting one more string S2 and I'm having Akshita. Quickly tell me, are these literals or non-literals? They are non-literal. So if I try to compare S1 equal to S2, what it is going to give me? True or the false? 100% false. Perfect. Good. Now, if I write S1 dot hash code and S2 dot hash code, quickly observe, in this case, will I get same hash code or the different hash code? Hash code will be called from which class? It will be called from the string class. ये hash code call होगा. Is it going to calculate the hash value based on the content of the two strings? Yes. अगर ये दोनों content same है, it is going to return me same hash value. Do you all agree? Perfect. Next, when I say, now I want to compare S1 dot equals S2. In this scenario, when you have written S1 dot equals hash S2, तो कौन से क्लास का इक्वल मेथड कॉल होने वाला है? पहले तो वो क्वेश्चन आता है, गाइस मेरे पास अगर खुद का इक्वल्स मेथड है तो मैं क्यों ऑब्जेक्ट क्लास के पास जाऊंगी? आई हैव रिपीटेड दिस इन द केस ऑफ टोस्टिंग मेनी अदर टाइम्स, right? So where it will go? It will go in this equals method, right? Perfect. Can you tell me what is the functionality of string class equals method? It checks the content within the string. S1 और S2 के content same है क्या? Yes, it is going to give me answer as true. यहां तक सबको समझ में आया? ठीक है. Perfect. Good. Let me take now the same thing with the employee class. I'll wait here for a minute. I want everyone to look into the slide for a minute. If it is understood, please post the message understood. Perfect. Got it. Good. Shall I proceed? Shall I proceed? See, I'll use the same, you can say, sentence again and again. If I have the method defined in my own function body, I will use these methods. But if I do not have a method in my own function body, I will go to the object class. So if your string class is having equals and the hash code, they are overridden method from the object class. तो अगर string class के ऊपर equal and hash code call हुआ है तो 100% वो string class के equals and hash code की functionality में ही जाएगा. Are we okay now? Perfect. Now let me come back. Still, if there is a confusion, let me explain the concept of now. What we have seen is employee class. Correct? Now, observe at your end and tell me quickly. एम्प्लॉय क्लास का कोड ऑब्जर्व करो और मुझे बताओ उसमें कितने फील्ड्स है. देयर आर 2 फील्ड्स, नेम एंड द ईएमपी आईडी. परफेक्ट. एम्प्लॉय क्लास के अंदर कितने मेथड्स डिक्लेयर किए हैं मैंने? वन इज द एम्प्लॉय कंस्ट्रक्टर, अनदर इज एम्प्लॉय कंस्ट्रक्टर, एंड एनीथिंग एल्स दैट आई हैव स्पेसिफाइड? वन इज अ टू स्ट्रिंग. परफेक्ट. वेरी गुड. इसके अलावा मेरे एम्प्लॉय क्लास में कुछ है क्या? नहीं है. परफेक्ट. गुड. नाउ I have created 2 employee objects. Employee E1 having this data and employee E2 having this data. I'll just decrease a little bit font so that I can make a space. All right. Let us understand. If you try to have employee E1, so as you know, this is employee E1 This is employee E2. Next, I'll draw the diagram for your reference so that you can easily understand. E1 and E2. Again, this E1 will have two fields, so I'll write these two fields. Here also this is E2 having these two fields. So the first field is EMP ID and the second field in both the object is having name. So I'll say here the first field is 123 and the name is Akshita. Here also it is 123 and the name is given as Akshita. And obviously, as I know, this is my E1 object, this is E2. And I hope you remember this is a reference. This is in stack area of type employee. Here also the things will remain the same. And this is nothing but the object which is having, you can say, in the heap area, right? And since these two are different objects, so 100% the first object reference will be this one, will be here. And this is going to have this address location. And the next here, in this case, in the second scenario, I will have this as the object and this will be the reference. I hope you all are able to understand up to this point. Right. So this is example of equals and hash code. Perfect. Now let us understand. We have written the point, this E1. So it is going to give me a call to toString. We have given a call E1 equal to E2. When I write E1 equal to E2, what is there in E1? It is some hash code. Do you agree? Yes or no? Right. It is this hash code. What is there in E2? Can I say this is there in E2? Correct? Are these two references are same or different? They are different. So can I say it is going to return me what as the output? False as the output. Abhi samajh mein aaya? Perfect. Next point. When I say E1 dot equals E2, at this moment, quickly tell me, equals method is called upon which object? E1 object. E1 object belongs to which class? Employee class. Next important question. Is my employee classes having the equals method? No. तो अब आप मुझे बताइए, एम्प्लॉय क्लास का इक्वल्स मेथड नहीं है तो वो कौन से क्लास के इक्वल मेथड में जाएगा? It is going to go in the object class equals method. Do you all agree? अभी समझ में आया कि what is happening? Right. Object class का equals method क्या रिटर्न करता है? It checks for reference equality. तो अब reference equality मतलब equal to अगर false है तो ये क्या रिटर्न करेगा? ये भी false ही रिटर्न करेगा. अभी कुछ समझ में आया? Have I made it easy to understand now? More simplified? Perfect. Let us check. E1 dot hash code. I'm saying E1 dot hash code. I'm saying E2 dot hash code. Again, I'm saying E2 dot hash code. Quickly tell me, hash code is called upon E1 and E2. E1 and E2 belong to which class? Employee class. Is my employee classes having the hash code method implemented? No. तो अब ये E1 hash code कहाँ पे जाएगा? It is going to go over here. What it does, it calculates the value. कोई तो XYZ value calculate होगी. E2 dot hash code, this will again go over here and it will calculate the hash code. Are these two hash code are going to become as same or different? Different. क्यों? क्योंकि E1 और E2 का reference different है तो यहाँ पे hash code value भी different आएगी. तो इसलिए जब आप दो objects को differently, you can say treat it. In that case, the hash code value is also different. Are we okay? अभी कुछ समझ में आया? Yes or no? Perfect. Now, let us say I'm writing employee E3 is equal to E1. At this moment, let me just copy this. E1 and E3 I'm comparing. E1 and E3. E1 and E3. E1 and E3. Again, E1 hash code and E3 hash code. Let's execute. Can you see E1 dot equal to E3 is true? E1 dot equals E3 is true, and same hash value is displayed. This is reference copy. When you say reference copy, तो जहां पे E1 पॉइंट कर रहा है उसी लोकेशन पे E3 पॉइंट करेगा. तो अगर डबल इक्वल टू ट्रू दे रहा है तो दोनों की हैश वैल्यू सेम होगी. एंड अगर इक्वल्स मेथड अगर हैश कोड सेम है तो इक्वल्स भी मुझे ट्रू दे रहा है. कुछ समझ में आया हाउ दे वर्क हैंड इन हैंड नाउ? Perfect. Are we okay? Shall I proceed? I'll wait onto this slide once. If it is understood, please post understood into the chat box. Good. Good. All right. So, shall we go ahead? Shall we go ahead? Now, let us understand. जैसे आपके स्ट्रिंग क्लास में इक्वल्स एंड हैश कोड ओवरराइड किया गया था, now I'll make the change into this 7_2. I'll copy it, I'll paste it. Okay, now let us understand the next point. Suppose I have the employee class, I have the constructor, and as you know, क्या हमने टू स्ट्रिंग मेथड को ओवरराइड किया है? राइट. अगर यहाँ पे टू स्ट्रिंग को ओवरराइड नहीं करते थे तो ऑब्जेक्ट क्लास का कौन सा मेथड कॉल होता था? टू स्ट्रिंग मेथड कॉल होता था. राइट. नाउ I'll say right click, source, generate hash code and equals. जैसे आप कंस्ट्रक्टर जनरेट करते हो वैसे ही I'm trying to generate a hash code and equals method inside the employee class. Something it have given me. Okay, right? Now, if I'm saying calculate the hash code value on E1 object, तो आप मुझे बताइए अगर मेरा hash code method employee class में है तो will it go to object class? No. Next, if you can observe, I have defined a equals method within the employee class. Can you please tell me equals method will be called from employee class or the object class? It will be called from the employee class. Perfect. Good. Good. Now, let us say, I'll just remove all these points. Let us assume I'm writing system.out.println E1 equal to E2. Let's execute. Can you see I'm getting false? Yes or no? Right. Next, I'm saying E1 equals E2. I'm here putting E1 dot equals E2. At this moment, will you please tell me, it is going to give a call to equals method from object class or from the employee class? From the employee class. Perfect. Now let us try to observe. अब इतना तो आपने कंक्लूजन बता दिया कि एम्प्लॉय क्लास का इक्वल्स मेथड कॉल होने वाला है. करेक्ट. एवरीवन लिसन वेरी केयरफुली. I have given a call E1 dot equals E2. Quickly tell me, this में कौन सा ऑब्जेक्ट जाएगा? करंट ऑब्जेक्ट E1. Perfect. So can I say, when I have given this equals method call, तो OBJ में जाएगा E2 और this में जाएगा E1. Do you all agree? Yes or no? Because it's a simple function call. Right? ठीक है. First point. Can you see it is checking E1 and OBJ, are their references same or not? E1 equal to E2. Is it true? ये false था हमारा. Right? So will it go in the first condition if? No. Next, what is there in OBJ? E2. Is my E2 is equal to null? Is this condition is true? No, it is false. Will it go in the second if condition? No. Next, current object का get class. If you observe get class method use किया है, तो current object का get class. Can you please tell me who is the current object? E1. What is the E1 का get class? It is employee. Is it not equal to E2 का get class? This is employee. Is this condition is true or false? This is false. So here also will it go within the condition? No, it will not go within this condition. Next point. Check this out. Here I have said let my obj E2 put it into other. It's like a temporary variable. Correct? Now I am saying return EMP ID. एक ये कंडीशन चेक हो रहा है और एक ये कंडीशन चेक हो रहा है. करेक्ट. व्हाट इज EMP ID? करंट ऑब्जेक्ट का EMP ID क्या था? इट वाज 1 2 3. इज इट इक्वल टू other dot EMP ID? कंडीशन इज ट्रू. करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट, अगर लॉजिकल एंड ऑपरेशन में लेफ्ट साइड पार्ट ट्रू होता है, डज इट गो टू द राइट हैंड साइड पार्ट? यस. नाउ आई एम सेइंग ऑब्जेक्ट्स का इक्वल्स मेथड. अब आप बताइए इक्वल्स मेथड नेम में क्या है? व्हाट्स देयर इन नेम? अक्षिता. अदर डॉट नेम में क्या है? अक्षिता. राइट. व्हेन आई एम सेइंग two strings are having equals method call, तो strings का equals method क्या वो कंटेंट चेक करता है? ट्रू. तो यहाँ पे ये ट्रू रिटर्न करेगा. That means can I say this whole condition is going to be true? Right. Means can I say the final boolean equals method is going to return me answer as a true? Are we okay? Yes or no? Perfect. Good. Let me just save this. Overriding equals and hash code. Right? Next point. So let us check. Am I getting the answer as true? Perfect. Next point. धीरज, can you please observe? हमने equals method कहाँ से कॉल किया है? आपके एम्प्लॉय क्लास से कॉल किया है. इसके अंदर जो आपने इक्वल्स कॉल किया है वो ऑब्जेक्ट क्लास का कॉल किया है, तो बाय डिफॉल्ट वो आपके नेम और ये स्ट्रिंग होने की वजह से स्ट्रिंग का इक्वालिटी चेक कर रहा है ना? करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट, लेट अस से hash code. So now I will try to print system.out.println E1 hash code. And let us try to print E2 hash code. Let's execute. Can you see I'm getting the same hash code value now? Why? अगर यहाँ पे first question to all of you, hash code function will be called from which class? Employee class. क्या मेरा employee class hash value calculate कर रहा है क्या EMP ID and name का? Yes. So hash value is based on the content EMP ID and name. And are my contents are same within both the objects? Yes. That means if the contents are same, तो hash value भी same ही आएगी. I hope now you have understood the difference between when we do not override the methods, object class के methods call होते हैं, and when you override the methods, तो आपके खुद के class के methods call होते हैं. Did you all get up to this point? Is it okay? Guys, यहाँ पे strings dot equals method call नहीं कर सकते. Java.util.objects basically works with different objects. So it's a predefined class जिसके अंदर equals method overridden. Okay? All right. How do you override? जैसे आप toString को override कर रहे थे वैसे यहाँ पे भी आपको चाहिए आप functionality change भी कर सकते हो. Source generate hash code and equals. Is it okay? Perfect. Shall we go ahead? Any more doubts? I'll wait here, otherwise we will go ahead to the string functions. Did you all get how does equals and equal equals and double equal to works? Perfect. Quickly go through the code. If you have any doubts, please ask. If you want, I'll wait here onto the slide. हैश कोड एक ही फील्ड का जनरेट किया तो हैश कोड डिफरेंट होगा. ट्रू. The reason is if you try to have one hash value and comparison will be there in the one field, I do not want that one field. No? I want to do the comparison in two fields. All right. Any more questions? Are you fine? Shall I wait or shall I proceed? Need your confirmation. In all the case, we override this method. See, if you want your methods to be overridden, you have to define it within your own class. Okay, Omkar? Means अगर आपको नहीं चाहिए कि ये method override नहीं होना चाहिए, तो in that case you can just use object class. But in that case, the functionality may vary. Perfect. Now, let us go ahead with the next point with the string functions. So this was interlinked with a string and the object. That's why I went into more detail. Now, as we know, again, back to your string class is having the superclass as object. It's having some interfaces. We have not yet talked about interface, so I'll just keep it for pending. String is a final class, extends object that we have already seen. Final indicates you cannot inherit the string class, right? Next, If you talk about methods, can you see it has a method called as char add, take some index. So we can use some methods. I'm saying string str is equal to Akshita. And I'm saying system.out.println. I'm saying char at second location. So I can just use str dot char at second location. Can you see it is giving me s as the second location character? All right. Now please listen very carefully. I'm just explaining few of the methods, how to use those methods. Again, there are so many number of methods in the string. You can use any, but you have to understand that if you are giving a call to the method, what method is taking as an input and what method is giving as an output. That is the first point that you need to know. Second point, if it is a static method, call it using string dot. If it is non-static, call it with the help of object name. Do you all agree? Everyone? Correct. Now, if you want to go for something called as concat, correct? Or maybe you want to go for comparison. So let us say I'm writing here S1 and I have string S2 is equal to Sandeep. And let's try to compare system.out.println S1 compare to S2. So I'll write S1 dot compare to S2. In this case, when you execute this code, it is giving me minus 18. How it is giving me minus 18? I hope you see, remember the return type of compare to is integer value. I hope you remember the ASCII values of different variables. Capital S minus capital A. That's how it is working. Or capital, do you know what's the capital A? It is 65. What is capital S? Just check and let me know. What's the ASCII value of capital S? Is it 86? Okay. 86 minus, you can say 65. Is it 18? 86 है कि 83 है? Just check. 83 है ना? Right. So you can check the difference between 83 and 65 is minus 18. Did you all get how it gave me the difference? It means it tries to compare from the first character onwards. पहले ही character में change मिल गया, वो as a return value दे देगा. आया समझ में? Are we okay? So again, can you please observe S2 is passed as a parameter. So S1 is compared with S2. Right? Guys, you have seen this compared to in case of C programming. It gives us ASCII difference. ठीक है, good. So I assume that you know this. ASCII value chart. Okay. Does it only, again the same question. Does it only compare the first character? Okay, I'll give you one example. Suppose I'm saying I have the first data as Akshita and I have the second data as trainer. And I am saying you, please compare all these values are same or wrong, not. So how you will proceed? You will say, you will compare A with you will compare with T. अगर पहले दोनों कैरेक्टर ही डिफरेंट है तो क्या आप आगे नेक्स्ट कैरेक्टर को चेक करोगे क्या? No, right? You do not want to waste your time. Same as the compiler is doing. As soon as the compiler will try to find the different character at some specified index, it gives you the ASCII difference. फिर आगे जाएगा ही क्यों ना? Are you getting? ठीक है. Assuming you have got, let me proceed. I'll go for concat function. I'm saying string S, you can say S3 is equal to S1 plus 10. Let me just try to print S3. Can you see the output, everyone? Yes or no? Right. Concat is used for, plus is used for concatenation अगर आपको प्लस नहीं यूज करना है तो यू कैन ऑल्सो यूज s1 डॉट concat ब्रैकेट में पास दिस डेटा. This is also possible. Are we okay? Right. Now, let us say, अगर मैंने s1 डॉट concat किया है, तो कैन यू प्लीज टेल मी अब s1 में क्या डेटा रहेगा? Will it be the full name or will it be only Akshita? It will be only Akshita. The reason over here is it is basically called as mutable, immutable. Strings are immutable. कल मैंने एक वर्ड यूज किया था, याद है कुछ? Immutable means जब भी आप कोई ओरिजिनल स्ट्रिंग लेके उसके ऊपर कोई ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म करते हो तो इट डज नॉट इफेक्ट द ओरिजिनल डेटा until and unless you do not assign it. For example, if I'm saying system.out.println, I'm saying s1, I'll add something over here. I'll say s1.concat and I'm saying trainer. In this scenario, I have added or I've performed the concatenation on s1. Let us try to print once again what is there in s1. Can you see it is still Akshita? It means the strings are immutable. Once you create a string object, you cannot change its original data until and unless you do not assign it with the new data. For example, I'm saying s1 is equal to s1 dot concat and now I'm saying, let us say Python or Java trainer. In this case, let us try to print s1 once again. Can you see? Now it has worked fine. It means जब तक आप S1 का डेटा लेके उसके ऊपर कुछ स्ट्रिंग फंक्शनलिटीज कर रहे हो तो वो वर्क होगी, लेकिन S1 एज इट इज रहेगा. बट जब तक आपने S1 को न्यूली असाइनमेंट नहीं दिया है, till that time you will not be able to change the original content of S1 and that property is called as immutable property. Have you all got up to this point? Yes or no? Perfect. Next point. You can see I have different methods. We have seen equals. You can use ends with. You can use hash code. You can use index of some character and many more. Right? So, will you please try some of the methods? You can see the length. So, if you want S1 to be printed and maybe you want to find its length. So, it will give you total number of characters, which is 7 characters. Okay. All right. Will you please try different methods like last index of, you can use join, you can use replace character and so on, 2 lowercase, 2 uppercase and so on. Will you please try few of the methods? Right? You can use 2 lowercase, 2 uppercase. The way I have used different methods, you can explore the methods and you can try. Will you try? Right. The length function is giving me 7 because total number of characters are 7. Replace method is also there, which you can use. We have seen last index of and so on. So these methods as a practice. Okay. There are 7 characters in the word Akshita. So that's the reason it will always take it start from 1 to 7. यहाँ पे इंडेक्स नहीं है, इंडेक्सिंग एरे में होता है. यहाँ पे एक्चुअल लेंथ दे रहा है वो, तो लेंथ 0 से नहीं काउंट कर सकते, लेंथ 1 से ही काउंट होता है ना. दैट्स व्हाई. ओके, देयर इज नो कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ यू कैन से /0. ओके. So there is one static method called as join, where you write some character sequence, delimiter, and character sequence some elements. So this is another interface in Java. Right now, I've not taught interface. That's why I'll not cover this particular part. Till the time, rest all the methods are non-static. I hope you remember हमने value of already use किया था. Returns the string representation of int argument. कौन से टॉपिक में यूज किया था? Guys, please observe. Value of method is taking which value? Taking which value? Int value. Returning what type of a value? String. Int कौन से टाइप का है? P टाइप. String कौन से टाइप का है? NP टाइप. P to NP कन्वर्जन याद है? बॉक्सिंग. तो हमने बॉक्सिंग में ऑलरेडी स्टैटिक मेथड्स यूज किए हैं. याद आया? वेरी नाइस. थैंक यू. गुड. All right. Okay. So, have you understood the methods to be used in case of string class? Right. Shall we go ahead? I'll close this project and let us work with string buffer and string builder as a new project. Now, the way you are having string class hierarchy, we have seen some string related functions, how the string is created, how we can use equals and double equals to method, and how basically we can go for concatenation. What is immutable? Strings are constant. They cannot be changed after they are created. So if you try to go for any string, पहले वो initially यहाँ पे point कर रहा है. जब तक आप new assignment नहीं करते, तब तक वो उसी location पे point करेगा. That is called as immutable. Now, when you say string class, it has different constructors, and we have used few constructors like character array pass कर सकते हो, आप string pass कर सकते हो. Let us observe. If I'm writing string s1 is equal to new string, inside the bracket I'm passing some data. Can I say behind the scenes some constructor is being given a call? I'll just rename this project. Right. All right. So at this moment, constructor will be called. From which class? From the string class. Check. String class constructor. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, ये सारे बाइट के वेरिएशंस हैं. ये सारे कैरेक्टर के वेरिएशंस हैं. Can you see this third last constructor? Am I using the same? Right. कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone? All right. Good. So it is having different constructor and methods, right? Now I have given some of the twisters for your practice. If you have time, you can type and you can execute. So these twisters के solutions भी मैंने कहीं कहीं पे दिए हैं आपको. तो अगर आपको चाहिए, you can try these and you can practice. कैसे उसे जावा में जगह मिलती है, heap में कैसे जगह मिलेगी, which is literal, who will go in the literal pool. Everything, whatever concepts I have taught, I've put some MCQ type of questions over here because in your technical rounds, sometimes these types of questions are asked. Correct? Now, so let us talk about string buffer and string builder. These are the two different classes which are there in java.lang package. So we will go to java.lang package and let us observe string buffer and string builder. Right? Now, in case of string buffer and string builder, both are final classes. Let's check. Class string buffer, fine. Class string builder, this is also final. Now, whenever we are using when to go for a buffer and when to go for a string builder. First of all, they are used to create mutable string instances. Mutable means they can be changed. It means अगर आपने कोई string बनाई using string buffer and string builder, and if you do the modification within string buffer and the string builder, then that modified string will be the original one. You will lose your original string contents. Okay. And that's why we say, you can say something called as string buffer and the string builder class. Next, when you say equals and the hash code, these two methods are not there within your string buffer and string builder. Means, can I say equals and the hash code method if they are not overridden? What does it mean? अगर मैं equals and hash code method को call करती हूँ on string buffer and builder, which class equals and hash code method will be called? Object class method. Did you all get? Perfect. We can create instance of these class using the new operator. Instances will get on heap. Now, string buffer implementation is thread safe, whereas string builder is not. That is the only difference between string buffer and the builder. Now, when you are talking about multi-threading concept, a thread is a small piece of a program. And when you divide your program into small parts, then that is called as multi-threading. So if you have multi-threading concept and if you want mutable strings, go for string buffer. Synchronization के लिए string buffer is used. That's why it is called as thread safe. Whereas string buffer builder you can use in simple programs also. Means अभी वाले जो हम program लिख रहे हैं, they all are multi-threaded, but यहाँ पे हम actually खुद का कोई थ्रेड नहीं क्रिएट कर रहे हैं या फिर हम एक प्रोग्राम को मल्टीपल थ्रेड्स में खुद से डिवाइड नहीं कर रहे हैं. So we can use string builder as a string. But if you want thread safe implementation, go for string buffer. Right? Next, let us observe. It's written string buffer, thread safe, mutable sequence of characters. String buffer is like a string, but it can be modified. It can be modified. It means whenever you are creating a string buffer and you make the changes into it, that will affect the original data. Right. The next point, please observe. The principal operations of string buffer are append and insert methods. अगर आपको याद रहेगा, string class के पास methods देखिए, append A से कोई भी method नहीं है, and ना ही उसके पास insert नाम का कोई method है. Index है but insert नहीं है. Why it is not there? Because string में हम appending and inserting data नहीं कर सकते. So if you want your string data to be appended with something, to be inserted with some data, then you go for string buffer or you go for string builder. So there's a requirement. For example, if you say, I want to create a string, but that string should remain intact. जो एक बार value assign हो गई, उसके बाद वो change नहीं होना चाहिए. In that case, you will go for string. When you say append, it means adding the content at the end. When you say insert, inserting the element in between. It means when I'm creating a string, I can be able to append some new data, add some new data, insert some new data within it. That is called as string buffer. Here also, string builder is also mutable character sequences, but they do not string buffer, but they with no guarantee of synchronization. Right? So string buffer में there is no synchronization, but string builder you may get it. That means here also, if you want to go for append and insert methods, you can use string builder class. Are we okay, everyone? Perfect. Let us take few examples of string builder. The way I have created a string class, on the similar way, I will create a string builder. Synchronization you will understand in more detail in case of multi-threading. SB1 is equal to new string builder. I'll pass some data, maybe I'll say hello. I'll say let us try to print SB1. Am I getting the correct data? Correct. Next. Suppose I'm saying system.out.println SB1 में मैंने कुछ data append किया है. So I'll say SB1.append and I'll try to append everyone. This is called as adding the content into SB1. So can you see data have been appended? Append means adding the content at the end. But after appending, let's check. SB1 में क्या रहता है? Can you see SB1 have got the newly updated data? Concat means join. Append means adding the data at the end. Okay. Next, can I say it is mutable set of characters? अभी प्रूव किया मैंने पॉइंट. What is immutable and mutable? जब आपने स्ट्रिंग में concat फंक्शन अप्लाई किया था तो इनिशियल स्ट्रिंग ओरिजिनल स्ट्रिंग remained unmodified. That is immutable. Okay, yes or no? All right, I'll take one more example. Let me create two string builders. Here I'll write Sunbeam, SB1 and SB2, correct? Here also I'll write Sunbeam. System.out.println SB1 equal to SB2. SB1 equal to SB2. Then SB1 dot equals SB2. SB1 dot equals SB2. And let us say I'll go for SB1 dot hash code. And SB2 dot hash code. Now in this scenario, will you please tell me SB1 and SB2 का equality reference, what it is going to give me? Both are two different objects. It is going to give me false. Perfect. Can you see the first output as false? Right. Next, please tell me equals method is called upon which object? SB1. SB1 belongs to which class? String builder. That means it will try to search string builder में, do I have a method equals? Check this out. EFGHI. No, I do not have equals method. Can you see here? Right. तो अगर मेरे पास खुद का equals method नहीं है तो कौन से class का equals call होगा? Object class. If the object class equals is called, what does it check? It checks the reference equality. अगर ये condition false है तो ये भी condition false ही आने वाला है. And hence, hash code value is different for both of them. Are we okay? Have you now understood? I don't think so. There is a problem now. Is it clear? Perfect. Now, on the similar lines, initially you will not face any difference in string builder and string buffer because one is used when you are working with synchronization, another is used when you are not aware, when you are not concerned about the synchronization. So what I'll do, I'll take the same example, but here instead of builder class, I'll use buffer. Rest everything I'll maintain same. Can you see I'm getting the same output? Can I say string buffer is also a mutable set of characters? Correct? Let us see. Next point. I'll copy this once again. And here, instead of string builder, I'll use string buffer. Right? And let us execute this code once again. Are you able to understand the points? Yes or no? Any questions? They are same initially. The reason is here we are not using something called as the reverse. We are not actually using some basically this synchronization or multithreading. Correct? Now let us check. I was searching for string buffer and right. Can you see I have one reverse function? Correct? Now, so reverse is present in string buffer. Return type is also string buffer. Correct? So, let us try to create one string buffer. So, अगर आपको कोई string को reverse करना है, तो you can use reverse function. Reverse function was not present within the string class. Reverse function is present within string buffer. Is it okay? Did you all get? So जैसे आप practice करोगे वैसे आपको मेथड समझ में आते जाएंगे. That is how it is. You can use split function from the string class to split the data. You can use reverse. You can say this. You can say specific number and you can perform reverse. Right? All right. Let me take one more example. What is my requirement? I'll give you one example. If I'm saying I'm entering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a number and I want to reverse it. So what output I need? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Correct? Now when you want to reverse any number, so normally you use a logic. Which logic you use? Modulus operation. Do you know that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mod 10 किया तो आपको 5 मिलेगा. फिर 1, 2, 3, 4 किया फिर mod 10 किया तो आपको 4 मिलेगा. And then you try to perform printing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and you will get the reverse. This is one logic. Now I will tell you another logic. Let us say I'll first write it over here. We will take some number from the user. Maybe integer num. We will say system.out.println. Enter number. I'll say sc.nextInt. We'll put it into num. I need to create scanner class object. System.in. And obviously I have to declare this as static because I'm accessing within the main, and I will go for java.util. Correct? Next point. In this case, the first thing, can I say I have to convert int to string? Do you all agree? Right. अगर int to string करना है तो आपके पास एक मेथड है value of. I'll say value of num. Value of is present as static method within the string class. And I will put this into one string, let us say s1 or str. Have you understood what I have done over here? Int to string, we have done boxing concept. Is it okay? So actually behind the scene क्या हो रहा है? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is treated as double quotes में 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need of wrapper classes. याद आया कुछ? Right. Next point. I want to convert the string in the reverse. Can I say str.reverse directly? Yes or no? Guys, str is a string. क्या मेरे string class के पास reverse method है क्या? नहीं है. So how can you say we can use it? पहले मुझे string से string to string buffer convert करना पड़ेगा. So can I say I'll create string buffer sb1 is equal to new string buffer and bracket में I'll pass s1. Is it okay? Sorry, str. Please check. I am creating an object sb1 of string buffer class, and this is using new. And when I'm saying new, so this is using a constructor from the string buffer class. And I hope you are able to understand. मतलब string से string buffer convert करने के लिए मेरे पास एक constructor है, and that I have used. Okay. Right. Now, let us try to print str first. So I'll try to print str is equal to str. Let us try to print SB1 first. Let's check what is coming within SB1. And then you can give a call SB1 dot reverse. Can you see the error is gone? So maybe 1 2 3 4 5. Can you see STR में 1 2 3 4 5 आया, फिर SB1 में 1 2 3 4 5 आया, and SB1 dot reverse gave me a reversed number. So did you all get the need of wrapper classes, their methods, and how do you convert string to string buffer? Are we good up to this point? So we have seen since morning, we have seen string buffer and string builder. Some twisters have maintained here also. After the break, we will see string tokenizer, right? And then we can conclude the string topic. Any questions that you have, please do ask. Otherwise, we'll first take a break. So let us create a new project and let's work with the next string related class, which is string tokenizer. Now, as we know, in java.util package, we have already seen 3 different classes with respect to string. In java.util package, right, there is a class which is most commonly used to work on the strings is called as string tokenizer. So string tokenizer, correct? Now, in case of this string tokenizer, you have the superclass as object, and this is again a class string tokenizer extends object. Now, if you remember, in case of C program, if you have ever heard about C programs, inside your string.h header file, there is a method which is called as strtok. Have you ever heard about this? No. Okay. So let me first explain what do you mean by tokenization. Suppose I'm saying I have received one string, which is, let us say, Sunbeam Infotech Pune, correct? And I'm considering this as a complete string, correct? Now, if I say I want to basically go for dividing this string in the form of words. So I'll say I'll separate out the first word Sunbeam. I'll separate out the second word Infotech and the third word Pune. So given a string, when you split your string in the form of words, then that process is called as tokenization. So this will become your token 1, this will become your token number 2, and this will become your token number 3. This process is called as string tokenization. Have you understood what do you mean by tokenization? Correct. Now, what is its actual use? Point समझ में आया कि tokenization क्या रहता है? Right. Now, have you ever heard about CSV files? CSV files, comma separated files, right? So comma separated file क्या रहती है? जहां पे आपका data in a table format रहता है and data is separated by, you can say, commas. For example, I'm saying I have EMP1, ID is 1, department is training, and maybe his, you can say, some ID is 1 2 3 4, correct? Let us say second record EMP2, maybe some ID, maybe some department, maybe some another number, right? That means my data is in the form of, coming in the form of string, but it is stored in CSV files, comma separated files. And here, what I want to split this string in the form of tokens. This is token 1, token 2, token 3, token 4, and so on. So here again, I'm splitting out the first token, which is EMP1. This will come out. The second token, maybe I'm taking at 1. But on what basis I am tokenizing the data? I am tokenizing the data based on one separator, which is nothing but comma. So here, the comma is basically wherever I have this comma sign, it is treating as a separator. Otherwise, मुझे क्या logic लिखना पड़ेगा? Otherwise, I have to take a complete string. Maybe I have to find some length. I have to go for a for loop. I have to search, is there any comma? Till the comma, put it into string word 1. Again, comma के बाद, again next word, put it into another string. Again, comma, put it into the third string, and so on and so forth. It means whenever you are trying to go ahead with these comma separated files, then you need some kind of separator. And that is nothing but string tokenizer. Just give me. All right. So here I have a separator which is there, and for performing this job, I need a string tokenizer class. tokenizer class. So अब need समझ में आया ये class हमें क्यों है? Why do we have a string tokenizer? Did you all get up to this point? Everyone? What's the need of string tokenizer? Perfect. So we will take example and we will solve this. तो अगर मेरे पास set of words है in a single string and I want to separate out those words, I have a string tokenizer class. Now, the separator that I have used over here, उसे हम normally is by default is basically your space. We will see that. Let's go to the string tokenizer class. It allows an application to break the string into tokens, correct? But how do it will break into tokens? कोई तो method use करना पड़ेगा. Or how I will come to know my string is till this much point. So for that, it uses two methods. One is has more tokens. Means on its own, it works like an iteration. On its own, it goes to the first word. It will split out into the next token. Again, it will go ahead. Do I have next token? Yes. Do I have next token? Yes. Do I have next token? Yes. This is checked by one method that has more tokens. And when I'll say I want to print that token, I'll use a method next token. Correct? Now, if you talk about, you can say string tokenizer, then it has three constructors. The first constructor is just taking string str. The second constructor is nothing but a delimiter, जिसे हम normally separator कहो या delimiter कहो. I'll just write it over here, separator, or sometimes we say it is as a delimiter, right? I'll just save this. String tokenization class का need, right? Next, if you observe, it is having the third constructor, which is taking string, delimiter, and return delimits. This is called as the string tokenizer class constructor. Now, we will take one example. Suppose I am using one string, str is equal to, maybe I'll pass Sunbeam, Infotech, Pune. Right? Now, in this scenario, I have created one string str having three words into it, correct? I want to go for string tokenizer. So obviously I'll use string tokenizer stk is equal to new string tokenizer and I'll pass str. As we know, string tokenizer is present in java.util. I will import java.util. Correct? Now, the first point, initially, first data, Sunbeam, will go into some string, then Infotech will go into some string, then Pune, then it will go into the string. That means initially, I need some token value which is initialized to null. हमने initially null क्यों assign किया? It is because Java does not allow us to have uninitialized variables. That's the reason I've created initially token is equal to null. Next, while my STK object dot has more tokens. Till the time I'm having more number of tokens in my STK, I just would like to take STK dot next token. These two methods are always used together. The has more tokens will check whether I have a next token or not. Next token will put the token value into the string. And I'm just trying to print system.out.println and I'll say token. Let us execute this code and check, is it working fine? Correct. Now please understand and tell me, if you observe line number 8, तो कौन सा कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल हुआ है? फर्स्ट, सेकेंड और थर्ड? फर्स्ट. Perfect. How did you come to know? It is because the string tokenizer के अंदर we have passed only one argument called as string. Perfect. So here, when you are not supplying any delimiter, space is considered as a default delimiter. Have you got up to this point? Everyone? Is it okay? All right. Now, let us say I'll take on one more example where I'll copy the same code, but now I'll pass maybe www.surnameinfo.com. Correct? Now, at this moment, I'm passing comma and dot. Let us execute. Can you see? It has divided the tokens based on the dot value. Correct. How did it recognize? Because I have passed dot as a delimiter. कुछ समझ में आया? How we have split it? In this case, on line number 11, can you please tell me? I have passed a string delimiter. That means one delimiter I have passed. So that's the reason dot is considered as a separator for my string. Rest whole code is the same. Are we okay? Are we okay? Perfect. Now, I'll use some path. Maybe, just hold on. Let us say I'll go to sunbeaminfo.in. Maybe I'll go somewhere in this location. I just want some more number of symbols in the URL. Let us say I'll go for some batch. I'll click over here and I'll just copy this path. Okay. Let us say we will copy this, and here I'll copy this path. I'll put it over here. So if you can observe into this path, you have backslash, you have colon, right? You have colon, you have backslash, you have dot, you have question mark, right? And you have equal to sign, and that's it, correct? So I am passing multiple number of delimiters into this scenario. I'll save it and I'll execute. Can you see it is basically trying to divide your symbols, and based on any symbol that is coming in between, it is dividing it. Have you understood up to this point? Yes or no? Perfect. Now, at this moment, can you please observe line number 9 and tell me which constructor I'm still using? I'm using the second, you can say, constructor. When you are passing any delimiter, it is basically, we are passing set of, we can pass one as a symbol or we can pass multiple symbols also. That is called as delimiters, correct? Now, let us go ahead and I will take the same data, the same example. And let's copy it. At this moment, if you can observe here, give me a second. I'll just make it small. Yeah, here I'm passing true, right? When I passed true, let us observe the difference now. Can you see what it has done? When you pass true, it is going to give me the tokens along with the delimiters in the output. कुछ समझ में आया? Right? So, if you say I'm using the first constructor, that means the first example, I've not passed anything because there was a space on its own. So by default, which is the default delimiter, it is using space as a delimiter. If you pass some delimiter, in that case, dot I have given, wherever I will have a dot in my string, that before that, it will be tokenized. In the third thing, I have just mentioned set of delimiters. Wherever any one of the delimiter is occurring, that particular delimiter is basically taken out. Apart from that, if you try to pass string tokenizer with two parameters, the tokens are returned, but delimiters are not returned because the return value is false by default. But if you use the third constructor, you pass a true value, it is going to return you tokens along with the delimiters. कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone? Yes or no? Perfect. Any doubts so far? Good. Shall we go ahead with the next points then? The next topic called as inheritance. Right. False तो by default है ही ना वो. False तो by default है. तभी तो वो हमें नहीं दे रहा ना कुछ भी. By default, it is set to false. But if you pass true, it is going to give you delimiters along with the tokens. Okay. I hope you have understood up to this point. All right. Shall we go ahead? Why we initially assign token as null? It is because, guys, can I say Java does not allow you uninitialized data? Right? तो अगर मैं टोकन की बात करती हूँ, is it a reference? अगर मैं null नहीं लिखती थी तो वो uninitialized reference हो जाता था ना. तो चलता है क्या जावा में? No. I hope you are remembering the basic concepts. Do not forget the basics. Correct. Are we okay? So, जैसे आपको मैंने has more tokens and next token बताया है, collection framework में फिर से हम iterator use करेंगे, तब has more elements and next element आएगा. जब हम enumeration use करेंगे, फिर से has more elements and next element आएगा. So, the way you have an application, you can use these methods. All right? Good. Any questions so far? Please do ask. I'll wait for 2 more minutes so that if any questions are there with respect to complete string topic, please do ask. Because next, I'm going to start with the next fresh topic, which is called as inheritance. Okay, why we use has more tokens? Check this out. See this, has more tokens. It is a method which is inside your string tokenizer class. It is a non-static method which returns Boolean value. It tests if there are more tokens available from the tokenizer string. And check this, next token returns the next token from the string tokenizer. So इसका return type is string. This is Boolean. Both are non-static. तो मुझे object name dot method name लगेगा. Correct? All right. Good. Any more questions? So did you all get the concept which is called as toString? The string buffer, string builder, methods of string builder and string buffer, and then we have seen the concept of string tokenizer. Please make sure string tokenizer class comes under java.util, so you need to import that. Shall we go ahead to the next point? Perfect. Good. So let us talk about a complete fresh topic, which is called as inheritance, right? Now, if we say inheritance, then it is basically deriving features from one class to another. That is the meaning of inheritance. So what is inheritance? When you derive features from one class to another class, then that concept is called as inheritance. For example, if I'm saying, for example, Akshita is a person, correct? Or I'll say mobile is a product. Or I'll say car is a vehicle, correct? Now, if I have two entities, let us say Akshita and person, if there is a relationship between two entities means two classes can be there, then I'll say it is inheritance, right? So why I use inheritance? Because when I'm talking about some specific person, the person will have some common features, like person will have name, person will have ID, mobile number, email ID, and so on. So in that case, I can reuse the features of the person. When I talk about product, I'm saying mobile is a product. It means mobile is having the basic features of any product, maybe product name, product ID, product का कुछ तो specific manufacturing date, manufacturing company, and so on. Similarly, when I'm saying laptop, is it also a product? Yes, of course. तो अगर मुझे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक स्टोर का एक प्रोजेक्ट क्रिएट करना है, तो आई विल से मोबाइल इज अ प्रोडक्ट, लैपटॉप इज अ प्रोडक्ट, iPad is a product, iPen is a product, any other you can say device, all are products. So is it difficult for me to create product class everywhere in the every package? Yes. So what I can do, I'll create one common class which is called as the parent class product. When we talk about a mobile, it will have its own features, maybe mobile screen size, maybe mobile features, maybe mobile ka camera pixel is there, RAM is there, and so on. When you talk about laptop, then you will talk about which OS is by default, and so on and so forth. It means ultimately it's a product? Yes. So here, if I try to draw this hierarchy, then the person, and here, let us say Akshita. And if you try to draw this hierarchy, right, then this is called as inheritance. Here also, this is inheritance. Here also, this is inheritance. The data which is on the right hand side is your superclass person, and here I'll say Akshita. Here I'll say product, and here I'll say laptop or a mobile, whatever example you can take. And here I'll say vehicle, and here I'll say car. What has happened with this case? Here, let us assume this is one more product which is also inherited from this, and this is laptop. So it is basically, I am reusing the features of one class inside another class. So the class which is at the top level, it is called as base class, parent class, और Java में हम इसे super class बोलते हैं. And the class which is at the lower level, which is called as derived class, it is called as child class, or it is called as subclass. Correct? So if there is a relationship between, you can say, two different classes, it represents inheritance. Have you understood what is inheritance? Correct. Now, next point. If I'm saying, let us assume another example. I'm saying employee has a mobile. Okay. Or I'll say Akshita has a date of birth. Correct. Or I'll say car has an engine. Now, here also, these are two entities. Correct. So if you can observe, I cannot say employee is a mobile. That's a wrong words, right? I will always say employee has a mobile. Or I cannot say Akshita is a date of birth. No, Akshita has a date of birth. Or car is the engine. No, car has an engine. So if there is has a relationship between the two entities, in that case, I will say it represent association. कुछ याद आया? हमने association का example किया था. Something called as class date and something called as class employee. और class employee में हमने date DOB नाम का एक variable create किया था. Right? So, whenever you are speaking about association, what does it mean? In this case, we will say when we create, when we create object of one class inside the body of another class, then we can say it is association. कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone? तो प्रोग्रामिकली जब आप एक क्लास का ऑब्जेक्ट दूसरे क्लास के बॉडी में बनाते हो, it represents association, right? But what about this scenario when I'm talking about, let us say, product, correct? So how I will try to perform this job? I will say class product, that's a first class, base class I'll create, and this is how I will write the definition. But when I say I'll write class mobile, it is having the superclass as a product. So in Java, we use the keyword called as extends. So Java में public, private ऐसा कुछ भी access specifier नहीं रहता है जैसे आपके C++ में था. Java uses a keyword which is called as extends keyword. And here you have to remember, in case of inheritance, extends can be used only once per class. Means you cannot extend more than one class in Java. कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone? Yes or no? All right. Good. So, let us understand extends only once. That means, I'll take example, don't worry. Let us say, in this case, I have a base class, I have a derived class. Let us say this is base class, this is derived class, this is derived class. Let us say this is base class, this is base class, and this is derived class. I'm just drawing this. Right? I'm giving some names to it. So let us say A, B. Let us say A, B, and C. Let us say A, B, and C. So for the first example, I'll talk about it, don't worry. I'll say class A. For the first example, I'll say class A. उसका एक definition रहेगा. Class B extends A. There is no access specifier. एक ही super class चलता है per class. Okay. Next, if I want to write class B over here, I'll write class B extends A. एक ही super class है. Again, class C extends A. That's how you can do. In this case, I'll say class A का definition I have. Okay. Class B का definition I have. I'll say that is okay. But when I write class C and if I write extends A, comma, extends B, this is not allowed in Java. This is completely wrong. This is not allowed in Java. This is not allowed. Have you understood? What do you mean by using of extend keywords? एक ही बार कैसे use कर सकते हैं? Correct. Now, the you can say first type of inheritance is called as single inheritance. जहाँ पे एक super class है, एक sub class है. This you can say can be a hierarchical inheritance. जहाँ पे एक super class है, दो base class है. That is also allowed. There's one more. I'll draw it first. Then I'll come to this point. Let us say I have this class, maybe this one, and this one, right? And I'm giving some names to it, right? Let us say I'll give this is class A, this is class B, and this is class C. So how do I go for? I'll write class, sorry. I'll say class A, okay, its definition. Class B extends A, that is also okay. Class C extends B, this is absolutely okay. And this type of inheritance is called as multi-level inheritance. Correct? Next, the last one, where I have two or more base classes, one derived class, that type of inheritance is called as multiple inheritance. In Java, multiple inheritance is not allowed. The reason is I cannot have one or more number of base classes. Why? I will tell you the reason. But for time being, just you can remember, in Java, we cannot achieve multiple inheritance directly. But if I want to achieve, if we wish to achieve multiple inheritance, then Java gives us concept of interface. So at this moment, I'll not talk about interface, but here you can just, I'm making a note. If I want to achieve the concept of multiple inheritance, Java में एक another concept है, which is interface. This is the diagram of types of inheritance in Java. Okay? अभी समझ में आया? एक किसी भी क्लास को दो सुपर क्लास नहीं हो सकते हैं, उसे ही हम बोलते हैं we cannot use extends more than once per class. अभी कुछ मीनिंग समझ में आया? Yes or no? Perfect. Good. So we have seen the types of inheritance. We have seen what do you mean by association and what is the difference between association and inheritance, right? ठीक. I'll make this as a segregation. ये सारे आपके OOP features है. So we will go ahead gradually, right? So if you want to achieve simplicity, you want to achieve some data hiding and some security, you go for some OOP concepts. Data security कैसे achieve करते हैं? Do you know that? How you achieve data security? By declaring the private data members. Perfect. When you declare the private data members, in that case, you go for data security. Perfect. And data hiding also. Right. Next, if I want to achieve reusability, we go for inheritance. Reusability means deriving some features from the existing class, reuse it into the same another class, then that is called as reusability. So if I want to maintain some system properly, I want to utilize the resources properly, then I'll go for some OOP features, right? There are many features of OOP: abstraction, encapsulation, modularity, and hierarchy. And minor pillars are typing, concurrency, and persistence. Now, I'll talk in short about these because we have seen practically. Abstraction, we will see the concept of abstract classes after this inheritance. Abstraction means you do not know the details. For example, when you hide some fields, maybe you make it as private. In that case, that is abstraction. जब आप कोई भी method call करते हो, do you know the internals, how it is performing the job? No. At that moment, it is abstraction. So abstraction is basically hiding some details from the user. Correct? The next is encapsulation. Encapsulation means, anyone? You all are aware. Binding the code and data together. For example, when I say, I have written a class. Inside the class, you have fields. Inside the class, you have methods. तो जब आप क्लास के अंदर methods and fields को combinedly लिखते हो, can I say it is encapsulation? Right. So encapsulation is basically combining code and data together in one single block. So structures that you have seen in C or C++, classes that you have seen many other times, namespaces that you have seen in your C++, they all are the example of encapsulation. Also, जब आप method call करते हो, it is abstraction. जब आप method define करते हो, it is encapsulation. Correct? Next, modularity. Anyone? What is modularity? It is basically dividing your code into smaller parts. That is called as modularity. Separation of code into smaller parts is basically modularity. It is for the ease for the user. Can you tell me, have you achieved modularity in Java? Yes, it is through packages. Perfect. Next is hierarchy. Inheritance is basically called as hierarchy. Parent-child relationship is basically called as hierarchy. So these are the four major pillars of object-oriented programming language. Let us talk about typing. Typing means polymorphism. Have you achieved polymorphism in case of your Java programming? Right. Function overloading, constructor overloading, function overriding, they all come under typing. So, if you can recollect, आपने दो categories of polymorphism देखे हैं C++ में. Compile time and runtime polymorphism. Compile time is function overloading and runtime is function overriding. Do you remember? Are you aware about these basic terminologies? We have already seen this. Correct. Next, concurrency and persistence. They deal when you are working with the Java database connectivities or when you deal with some files, when you go for synchronization, when you go for multi-threading, at that moment, we need concurrency and persistence. So they work hand in hand. What do you mean by that? Suppose I'm trying to make changes. I'm developing one bank-related project and I'm trying to make the changes into my balance, right? I'm trying to withdraw the amount and deposit the amount. So जब तक मैं next transaction नहीं करती हूँ, till that time the data should remain as it is. That is called as persistence. And when I'm saying I'm performing the withdraw operation, I'm performing the deposit operation, they work concurrently, simultaneously they should work. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि दोनों एक same point of time पे चलने चाहिए. That is not possible, and that is called as concurrency, right? So whatever I have told, it is known to you, and it is also there into your slides. Abstraction, encapsulation, modularity, and hierarchy. Typing, concurrency, and persistence. Persistence means maintaining the state of the object. अगर आपने static word सुना है, static always keeps your data in a persistent manner. That means whoever is last updating the record, will it maintain the property? Yes. Are we okay? Right. आपने इसका practical example देती हूँ. आप Gmail पे जब login करते हो या कभी-कभी आपके log records generate होते हैं, right? Last login दिखाता है, right? So what is that? It is basically maintaining the state where you have logged in at what point of time. So that is nothing but maintaining the last updated record. That's called as persistence. Okay? Is it okay? Perfect. Good. So again, I have given you the meaning of association. Few examples I've included. If I have has a relationship, it is association. If it is again is part of relationship, it is also association. So engine is part of car or car has an engine. Both the words are same. That's why it is association. So you can represent association in Java by creating object of one class in the body of another class. that is association. We have already seen the example of association in, you can say, previous classes and object concept. Let us see how the inheritance works. If there is a relationship, then it is inheritance. It is also called as generalization. Manager is an employee. Book is a product. Triangle is a shape. Saving account is an account. That means these all are some of the examples of inheritance. अब क्वेश्चन ये आता है, हम प्रोग्राम में कैसे इनहेरिटेंस क्रिएट करते हैं और हम प्रोग्राम में कैसे फीचर्स को रीयूज करते हैं. So let us say, I'll take one example. First, I'll draw the hierarchy, then you will easily able to understand. I'm taking one example. Maybe employee is a person. Correct? So definitely, I will have one class person and I will have one class employee. And I'm specifying some attributes within the person. Maybe I'll have name, maybe I'll have some age, and that's it, let us say. And when I say we will talk about the class employee, at this moment, employee will have some ID, EMP ID, and employee will have some salary. Correct? Now, if you try to represent this in the hierarchical format, person will be the superclass, employee will be the subclass. So I'll just draw this hierarchy and I'll say here there will be a person class. Here there will be a person class. And here there will be the employee class. Right? So this is what is the hierarchy. So at this moment, what is the inheritance? Whenever I am going to create employee EOBJ is equal to new employee. At this moment, the object EOBJ shall get created. That's first point. And second important point is the inheritances. Derived class must have the features of its own as well as the features of the superclass. So here, in this case, E object will have EMP ID, E object will have salary as its two fields, but it is also going to have age, it is also going to have name. This is called as inheritance, where the derived class will have in all 4 features, out of which these 2 features are taken from the person class. Have you understood what is the need of inheritance? Perfect. So we will try to implement this. We will try to gradually change this code. And now let us go ahead in developing the code step by step. So first of all, I'll have one class person. I'll have string name and I will have integer age. That's it. I'm saying I'm writing the person class. Maybe I'll put some statement so that I can prove some points. Can I say this is parameterless constructor of person class? Correct? Let us say I'm having one void display function where I'm trying to write maybe name is equal to current object dot name and age is equal to current object dot age. All right. Any doubts into this program? Any doubts till this point? No. Okay. Now I'll go for class employee. Quickly, let us specify class employee. Is my class employee is inherited from the person class? Yes. So here I'll use the keyword extend and here I'll say person. There is no access specifier to be mentioned when you are performing the inheritance in Java. Here, when you use extends keyword on its own, it will go to the person class and it will see I have to fetch features of the person class. Are we okay? Perfect. Coming back to the next point. Here, I'm saying employee class was having EMP ID and salary. So I'll declare EMP ID. I'll say integer salary. Let us say I'm writing this constructor. I'm not assigning anything. I'll just put statement inside parameterless constructor of the employee class. Right? Now, when I want some void print function, in this case, I'll just say system.out.println empid is equal to this dot empid and salary is equal to this dot salary. All right? Now, यहाँ तक समझ में आया? Everyone? Perfect. Next point. In the main, I'm going to create one object. Employee eobj is equal to new employee. Please make sure inheritance में हम derived class का ही object create करते हैं. The reason is, as I'm saying it's a derived, it means base class के features उसके पास आ चुके हैं. So, अगर base class का ही आपको features use करने हैं, तभी तो आपने inheritance किया. So, please make sure, in case of inheritance, never ever try to create object of the super class. Have you understood? अगर ऑब्जेक्ट बनाना ही है तो फिर इनहेरिटेंस क्यों कर रहे हो? आया समझ में? आ रहा है समझ में? करेक्ट. नाउ आई हैव क्रिएटेड एम्प्लॉय क्लास ऑब्जेक्ट. On line number 37, what will be called? On line number 37, what will be called? Constructor will be called. Which constructor will be called? Parameterless constructor. Parameterless constructor will be called from which class? From superclass as well as subclass. Let us observe. I have not initialized anything. I'm just trying to print the data. So please check. This is going to give a call to parameterless constructor of this class employee. But it will see I am inherited from the class person. Is my class person is having a parameterless constructor? Yes. So it is going to declare this and it is defining this. Then it is coming back over here and defining this data. समझ में आया? The flow of the execution? Yes or no? All right. Now, I want to give a call to print function. Correct? How will I give a call to print? Quickly tell me. What shall I write? eobj.print. Perfect. When I try to print the data, is it going to print me only empid and salary as 0 and 0? Yes. Let us check. Is it giving me empid and salary 0 and 0? Yes. Now, if I want to give a call to display function of the class person, quickly tell me, display function को हम call कैसे कर सकते हैं? If I write eobj.display, I'm sorry, somewhere something has happened. Right. If I just write here eobj.display, let's check. Is it allowing us? Yes, it is allowing us. Why? Because employee object is derived from the person. But this is not the correct place. The second place is in the print function. I know I have a display function in the superclass. Please observe, in this case, display likha, it will first search, do I have a display function of my own? Yes or no? No. So where it will go? In the superclass. Who is my superclass? Person. Person superclass में, do I have a display function? Yes. So it will print name and age. So can I say first I have given a superclass method, so it will give me name and age both as null and 0. Then I'm printing empid and salary, it is 0 and 0. Are we okay? Right. If I write this display function after this line, does it make any difference? No. यहाँ पे सिर्फ पहले empid and salary आएगा, बाद में name और age आएगा. It is completely based on the user at what point you would like to give a call to superclass methods. Are we okay? All right. Shall I go ahead? Right. Next point. So can I say As soon as I've created employee eobj is equal to new employee, name, age, EMPID, salary. 4 fields are initialized. It is going to give a call to the constructor, and that's why name is by default given a value null, age is 0, EMPID 0, salary is 0. This is a reference variable. Obviously, यहाँ का address is stored into this scenario. Do you all agree? Everyone? Correct. At this moment, can I say parameter-less constructor of superclass is called automatically from the parameter-less constructor of subclass. Do you all agree? Everyone. Are you okay? So it means if you are trying to perform some calling of a constructor, in that case, you can basically have a parameterless constructor call on its own from the parameterless constructor of subclass to the superclass. Correct? ठीक. Next, suppose I'm initializing this dot name is equal to default. This dot age maybe is equal to 18. Again, here I'm assigning this dot EMPID initially 1. This dot salary I'm assigning maybe 40,000. So in this case, can you see the fields are getting initialized also? जैसे आपने पहले किया था. Perfect. Good. Next point. I'll just copy this code. I'll paste it. Refactor it, remove it. All right. Now, let us say I have a class person having the parameter less constructor, having the parameterized constructor. I'm saying this dot name, this dot age is equal to age. Correct? Can I say this is a parameterized constructor? Perfect. Similarly, suppose I have created E1 object, E1.print. It is going to work fine. It is going to work similarly to the previous program because here I have given a call to parameter less constructor. Now, everyone, if I'm saying employee E2 is equal to new employee, E2 will be created as one object of type employee. Can you please tell me E2 के अंदर कितने fields को जगह मिलेगी? How many fields will get the space in E2? The students, those who are seeing 2, are not awake. Have I drawn the diagram in front of you? Whenever you create employee object, it is going to have total 4 fields. Perfect. तो जब हम parameterless constructor call कर रहे थे, was my parameterless constructor was initializing their values on its own? Yes. But now I want my parameterized constructor to be called. So at this moment, मुझे कितने fields का data pass करना पड़ेगा? How many fields I have to pass? Name, age, EMPID and salary. So let us say name, let us say age, EMPID and let us say salary. Everyone, and I'll say E2.print. But at this moment, do my employee classes having parameterized constructor? No, I do not have it. So shall I define it? Of course, we have to. I will specify the employee class constructor. But at this moment, how many parameters it is expecting? 4 arguments. I have to follow the sequence. Please ensure. It's like a function call. Pehla string name. Second, I have passed integer age. Third, I have passed integer EMP-ID. And fourth, I have passed integer salary. Is it okay, everyone? Correct. अब आप मुझे बताइए, can I say this dot name is equal to name over here? No. The reason is, जो name field है वो मेरे employee class का नहीं है, वो super class का है. जो age field है वो employee class का नहीं है, वो super class का है. Can I write this dot empid is equal to empid? Yes. This dot salary is equal to salary? Yes, you can write like this. But if I'm saying I want to give a call, when we want to give a call to superclass parameterized constructor, then we use super keyword. So how do I write? I'll say super and I'll say name, comma, age. So what will happen into this scenario? Let us understand. First point, I have created E2 object. So as we know, when I create E2 object, at this moment, one object will be created. And that object will be having the field, which is called as name, age, EMP-ID, and salary. I'll just make a diagram for you. So I'll copy this first statement. Employee E2 is equal to this. So whenever you are trying to create one object of type employee, initially it is going to have 4 fields within it. And initially I have not assigned anything, so maybe that is uninitialized. So I'll say this is E2. This is E2, right? And obviously this is a memory location. Correct. Next, it will see there is a parameterized constructor. It will go to the parameterized constructor of my employee class. I have passed name, age, EMP-ID, and salary. So name will pass as Akshita, age will go as in the second, EMP-ID and salary. But immediately I have written the first statement, super. Super in Java is used to give a call to superclass constructor. In the superclass constructor, do I have any constructor matching with string and the integer? Yes. तो line number 42 का जो control है will go on line number 16. And can you see it is setting this dot name and this dot age? Yes. Who was this? This is nothing but our E2. E2 के current object के field के name में set the field as Akshita. So when the superclass constructor will be called, first field name will be set as Akshita, second field will be set as 36. After that, it will come back to your employee class constructor. Here, it will see current object EMP-ID, set it as EMP-ID, current object salary as salary. It means after this, the EMP-ID will be set to 123, salary will be set to 80,000. Did you all understand how the object is getting initialized without creating person class object? So here I'll make a conclusion. Parameterless constructor of superclass is called automatically from the parameterless constructor of the subclass. But if we wish to call parameterized constructor of base class of superclass from subclass, we have to call explicitly by using super keyword. And please ensure the field sequence is maintained. अगर string है तो string पहला रहना चाहिए. तो string field sequence और argument sequence is maintained. कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone. Yes or no? Let us execute this then. So I'll just write e2.print. Let us execute. I'm getting E1 data correctly and object E2 data, whatever I have passed. Okay. Did you all get up to this point? So super keyword के 2 uses है. उसमें से मैंने आपको पहला use बताया. Super is used to give a call to superclass parameterized constructor. Any questions? Good. Shall I proceed? Perfect. I'll just create, you can say, a copy of this project. I'll paste it. I'll close this project. And let us see, in this project, right. Next point. Let us assume I have class person. Here I have which function? Display function. In the class employee, I have print function. But I want to avoid it. Here also, I need a display function. So can I say this is nothing but function overriding? Same function name with the same return type, with the same number of argument, but in a different scope is nothing but function overriding. It means मुझे बेस क्लास में भी डिस्प्ले फंक्शन चाहिए, डिराइव क्लास में भी डिस्प्ले फंक्शन चाहिए, क्योंकि मुझे इतने सारे नाम तो याद नहीं रखने. तो जब भी मैं एक डिस्प्ले फंक्शन कॉल करूं तो वो सारे अदर डिस्प्ले फंक्शन को कॉल करना चाहिए. करेक्ट? नाउ let us understand next important point. Suppose I have created one employee E1 object is equal to new employee. And if I say E1.display, quickly tell me E1 is called upon which object? Display is called upon which object? E1 object. So can you please tell me this में क्या जाएगा? This में क्या जाएगा? This में जाएगा E1. Correct. So if I go to display function of which class? Obviously for the employee class. If I just write here display, will it go for recursion continuously? Yes. अगर recursion में जाएगा तो प्रोग्राम एंड होगा क्या? नहीं, infinite loop में चला जाएगा. Do you agree? Function within a function call, same function name. Correct. So can I write this only disp over here? No, I cannot write. ठीक है. अगर मैं यहाँ पे लिखती हूँ this dot super, then this कौन है? E1 object. E1 object का display function कौन सा है? यही है. Will it again cause the recursion? Of course, yes. What is my requirement? I have to give a call to this function display from the person class. So here I will write super dot display. So what is the second use of super keyword? The second use of super is used to call overridden method of super class. कुछ समझ में आया? हमने this और हमने सिर्फ method name ही क्यों नहीं लिखा? Correct. So how it will proceed? E1.display will go in the display function. It will see, oh, there is super.display. So I'll go to the super.display. First I'll print name and age. I'll come back to the calling area. I'll display EMP ID and salary. I'll execute. Are you able to understand this much part? I'll remove now inside parameter less constructor and so on because अभी आपको पता है वो. Is it okay? Perfect. Next point. Suppose I'm creating employee E2 is equal to new employee. And here I'm passing some data. The first field, the second field, the third field, and the fourth field. And I'll say E2.display. One more time, it is going to give you a call to display function from the employee class, but there is a super.display. It will go here and execute. Are we okay up to this point? कुछ समझ में आया? Need of super? Correct. One more point I'll add over here. जहां पे हमने super लिखा था, right? Super must be the first statement of the scope. हमेशा जब भी आपको super लिखना है तो वो हमेशा आपका first statement ही होना चाहिए. Can you see here? Super constructor में पहला statement है. यहाँ पे चलेगा, method में चलेगा, constructor में super पहले आना चाहिए. Are we okay? Yes or no? Did you all get the meaning of super? Most commonly asked interview questions onto this is the difference between super and you can say something called as this keyword. तो आपको समझाने आएगा क्या? Yes or no? ठीक है, shall I go ahead? Perfect. Now I'll take one more example and you guys will help me out now. So day 7_10, the last example for the day 7_10, right? I'll create a class product, correct? Inside the product class, I have one product PID, and maybe I have something, maybe name. Let us say I have a class mobile, and maybe I'll have some integer price, and maybe it's a string M name, manufacturer name, or mobile name, whatever you take. Here, I'll just write PID only. Let it be. Now, do you remember हम right click करके source generate constructor करते थे? याद है कुछ? Right. So I'll say right click, source, generate constructor from the super class. Do you agree? Right. Can you see something? Class product का super class कौन सा है? Object. Because everyone knows that every class is having its supermost class as object. तो class product का super class कौन रहेगा? Obviously object. I'll say generate. Right? Are you remembering few points? जब भी आपका पैरामीटरलेस कंस्ट्रक्टर ऑटोमेटिक जनरेट होता है तो यहाँ पे वो सुपर कीवर्ड देता था और मैंने आपको कहा था कि इनहेरिटेंस तक आप इसे इग्नोर करो. याद है कुछ? राइट. करेक्ट. परफेक्ट. होल्ड ऑन. नेक्स्ट, इफ आई वांट टू से राइट क्लिक, सोर्स, generate constructor using fields, I'll say PID generate. Can you see here? It is also giving me here super and constructor using field. ये पास हुआ है. Correct? Yes or no? All right. Let me generate. Right click, source, toString. I just want to go for PID. I'll say toString PID. Okay? Now, here also, I shall write here extends product. Correct? Let us say right click, source, generate constructor from superclass. Can you see it is giving me the product as the superclass? I'll say generate. Are you able to understand? Parameterless constructor में उसने super लिखा है. That means it is going to give a call to super class parameterless constructor. Parameterized constructor में मुझे यहाँ पे modify करना पड़ेगा integer PID, integer price and string M name, where I'll write take the PID from the superclass and let price be set over here. कुछ समझ में आया? What I have tried to explain you now? Perfect. Hold on. Just listen carefully. Again, right click, source, generate toString. It is asking me, you want to generate toString for price and M name? Okay, I'll say generate. So here it is going to print price and M name. Correct? Now let us understand how the execution will go for. First of all, my derived class name is mobile. I'll create one object. I'll say mobile M1 is equal to new mobile. I'll say M1 dot, I'll just try to print M1. Everyone, please tell me, mobile M1 object will be created. How many fields will be initialized? How many fields will be there in the mobile class? Price, M name and PID. 3 fields. Perfect. Can you please tell me, line number 55 will give a call to which constructor? Parameterless constructor. It will go to the mobile class parameterless constructor. Can you see? Automatically ये super class में जा रहा है. That means हमने अगर super लिखा या नहीं लिखा, parameterless constructor is going to give a call to parameterless constructor of the super class. So here, will it go to the super class product? Yes. अब product super class के अंदर भी super लिखा हुआ है. It means, can I say here it will go to the super class object, right? Object class का super class constructor, what it will do? It will assign a default value to the fields of the super class. What are the fields of the superclass? PID. What is its data type? Int. तो it will assign 0 to it. तो कौन सा कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल होगा? डिफॉल्ट कंस्ट्रक्टर ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट क्लास कॉल हो रहा है. कुछ समझ में आया? What it is happening behind the scene? Everyone. Perfect. Next, price and m name. Do I have anything assigned to this in the default parameterless constructor? No, it will go to superclass. Do I have anything assigned over here? No, it will go to the superclass. Object class, यहाँ पे भी 0 and a null initialize करेगा. Did you all get how the execution is going on? Please check. आपका जो java.lang package है, it is having one class which is called as object class, and if you can observe constructor, do I have a parameterless constructor? So by default आप हमेशा मुझसे पूछ रहे थे एक बार तो कि मैम अगर पैरामीटराइज कंस्ट्रक्टर डिफाइन किया है, अगर उसके साथ हमने फील्ड इनिशियलाइज ही नहीं किए तो कौन सा कंस्ट्रक्टर कॉल होता है? तो डिफॉल्ट कंस्ट्रक्टर. दिस इज द डिफॉल्ट कंस्ट्रक्टर we normally talk about. Okay, everyone. Right. Next point. Please observe and tell me. When I try to print M1, please tell me which function will be called? ToString. In the ToString, price and M name, I'm giving it a call. So, can I say यहाँ पे सिर्फ price और M name 0 and something you can say null इतना ही print होने वाला है? Yes, of course. अब if I say I want to give a call to the ToString method of the superclass, then what? If I just write here ToString, right? If I just write here ToString method, can you please tell me, अगर मैंने यहाँ पे m name के बाद प्लस फिर से कुछ स्पेस दे दिया और मैंने कहा ToString, will it work for me? No, it will give me a recursion. In this case, here, can I say I have to write super.ToString? कुछ समझ में आया? Everyone? Did you all get up to this point? Somewhere it is giving error. I'll just make a change. Brackets. Let's check. So I'll say generate. Can you see? उसने ToString method को भी super.ToString लिखा. I do not want this get class and so on. I just want this much. Okay, I'll execute once. Can you see? Price m name ToString product का उसने कॉल किया है. PID is equal to 0. All good up to this point? Is it okay? Correct. Similarly, mobile m2 is equal to new mobile. Here I'm passing three fields, integer, integer, and string. One is product ID, another is price and name. Let us say price and some name. I'm passing this. If I say I would like to call m2, I'll just say m2.ToString, and here it is going to give it a call. Are we okay? Have you understood how it is working? Now, parameterized constructor will be called on line 58. It will go to parameterized constructor on line 34. It will see there is a super call PID. So, वो person class में जाके आपके इस object को PID assign करेगा. And then it is having price and name. So, did you all understand what are the two uses of super? And अब तक अगर super नहीं भी लिखते थे तो चलता था. आया समझ में क्यों? Because when you are trying to give a call to superclass constructor, by default parameter less constructor gets called. इसलिए super लिखना जरूरी नहीं था. But if you want to give a call to parameterized superclass constructor, you have to write super along with the fields. Right? Why I have written super.ToString? It is because in your mobile class, you were having a ToString. You were having price and m name to be displayed. But I wanted to call the overridden method ToString of the product class. Product के अंदर जो ToString method है, उसे कॉल करने के लिए I have to give a call super.ToString. Is it okay? Now, everyone, if you think logically, अगर मेरे product class में suppose ToString method नहीं है, तो क्या होता था? Let us execute. Can you see वो product mobile class का hash code ही display कर रहा है? अभी कुछ समझ में आया? call to overridden method is done with the help of super keyword. All good up to this point. So we have seen inheritance, how inheritance is achieved, types of inheritance. We will talk about multiple inheritance tomorrow, but at least I have talked about this versus super, and that's what is for the day, right? So we have seen today string topic, string tokenizer, and we have started with the concept of inheritance. We have seen the basic programs. Tomorrow we will talk in more detail about inheritance, upcasting and downcasting, multiple inheritance, abstract classes, and interfaces. These are the topics that will be covered in tomorrow's session. But if you are confident about inheritance, then only you will understand tomorrow's lecture. If you do not revise today's lecture, tomorrow's lecture will go blank for you. So a request to all of you, try to revise whatever programs we have done in today's session. If still you have problem, then please do join the lab session and get your queries resolved, right? Thank you very much. We will meet tomorrow. If any queries are there, I'll just clear it out. Thank you, and I'm stopping the recording.